Chief Justice's remarks to be followed by a response from the man of the hour, the 21st Chief Justice, our very own columnist, former Chief Justice Artemio Panganiban. Sir, you have the floor.
Chief Justice Alexander G. Hesmundo, and my other esteemed colleagues in the Supreme Court and in the judiciary, both incumbent and retired, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am overwhelmed with honor and joy that my dear friend Marixie R. Prieto and her Gangho daughter, Sandy Prieto Romualdez, President and CEO of the Inquirer Group of Companies, have once again published a compilation of my columns during the last 5 years into a book and titled it, With Due Respect 3. Indeed, though I feel unworthy of their kindness, they perpetualize my humble work into books every 5 years. The first in 2011, the second in 2016, and the third today, December 7, 2021, which happens to be exactly my 85th birthday. The difference is that this year's book is divided into 2 volumes. To be completely honest, I did not consider myself capable of writing a column. The plain truth is that I have never written one in my life until after I retired from the judiciary. Though I have had a historical romance with newspapers, having peddled them for many years in the streets of Sampaloc, Manila, to help my impoverished family meet our daily sustenance when I was an elementary and high school student, I have never dreamt of writing a column. Having been a lawyer of Teodoro Valencia, a famous columnist of our country, a few decades ago, I knew the rigors, risks, and responsibilities of column writing, which are different from authoring legal articles for law journals and writing decisions and resolutions in the Supreme Court. For these reasons, I was very hesitant to accept the kind offer of Marixie to write 3 times a week for the Inquirer. I sincerely thought I was not worthy to be counted among the Inquirer's opinion writers, who are known to be the best in our country. I became more hesitant after my now deceased guru, Dr. Jovito Salonga, told me he didn't know of any retired justice who has written a column. He said, and I quote him, "Chief Justices create history. They do not write it." But Marixie could not be dissuaded. She said, "Dr. Salonga may be correct, but I do not know of any retired Chief Justice who has been offered to write a column." Indeed, Marixie convinced me, and we compromised that I would write only once a week instead of thrice as he wanted. Consequently, I can truly say that I owe Marixie my opinion writing career. Really, I have written continuously for 15 years from February 2007 up to now, a period longer than my over 11 years in the Supreme Court. During those 15 years, I wrote every Sunday without fail, despite occasional illnesses, travel abroad of about 5 times a year, and pressing work as an officer, corporate director, or advisor in over 15 companies and foundations. I owe her whatever awards or accolades I have received because of my humble work. I owe her the acclaim that the first book, With Due Respect 1, received as the third placer in the Amazon bestseller list for the courts category, topped only by first placer Jeffrey Toobin of CNN and second placer Antonin Scalia, the revered and now deceased Senior Justice of the United States Supreme Court. May I also say that, as I wrote in my column on November 7, 2021, titled Ticini to Pay Damages in BNPP Suit, I have undergone the agony and travails of being sued for libel and the time-consuming harassment that an innocent person has to endure to have a baseless charge dismissed. My consolation is that I was absolutely cleared by the Department of Justice and by the Court of Appeals that stopped the Regional Court of Makati from hearing the charge for being completely inane and baseless. May I also express my sincere thanks to our incumbent Chief Justice Alexander G. Mundo for formally launching With Due Respect 3 and for his very kind words for this ancient jurist. At age 65, he could be my son and I could be his father. Like me, he did not seek his position as the highest magistrate of our country. He was named to the position by President Rodrigo Duterte without his asking for it. Uncomfortable with public attention, he maintains a very low profile, making appearances only once in a while. This quality makes this launch of With Due Respect 3 even more ennobling and memorable. I know that he commands the esteem and highest regard of his colleagues who, like me, expect him to lead the court with passion and dedication. I personally know, too, that he has an abundance of the four attributes that our Constitution requires of jurists, namely proven competence, integrity, probity, and independence. In addition, he is also a glutton for work and is determined to solve the perennial backlog of cases that has bedeviled the court and the judiciary for many, many years. And being familiar with new technologies, he is ready and eager to automate the judiciary. Permit me also to thank J.V. Rufino, the young and energetic boss of the Inquirer books, for giving special attention to the printing and publication of WDR3, as well as compañero Sen James Borja, who patiently arranged the columns topically instead of chronologically to give readers a better flavor of the various subjects taken up by my columns. Sean was the valedictorian of his law class at Ateneo de Manila in 2018 and copped first place in the bar exam of the same year, aside from being a much-awarded mooter during local and international moot court competitions. We at the Foundation for Liberty and Prosperity are very proud of him for leading our first batch of scholars who took the bar exam. Let us watch him grow and go as he matures in the practice of law. Finally, may I thank the Inquirer editors, especially George Aruta and Rosario Garceliano, who have both retired now, and of course, Gilbert Cadiz, the incumbent opinion editor, for their patience and prudence in correcting my occasional grammatical errors and failures to observe the Inquirer style book. May they never tire of teaching these aging jurists the rudiments of the English language and of column writing. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.